Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and this is Replay, Relive, and Reexperience, or as we like to call it, Re3s, where you guessed it, we do all three of those things to our favorite video game series. In this edition of Re3, we're going to be replaying, reliving, and re-experiencing the Halo franchise, starting with Halo Combat Evolved and ending with Halo 5 Guardians in anticipation for Halo Infinite. Here to go on Master Chief Saga with me, as always, the triple threat.
Gooch, good to be here.
I didn't even say your name yet, Chris Trio.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but it is still good to be here.
And our guest, Chris Geddes. Welcome back, man.
Well, thank you.
Good, our third host of this podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gooch, what levels are we discussing on this episode?
So this is our final episode for
Of
Halo
Combat Evolved.
Combat
Yeah.
Evolved.
We did it.
Woo!
5 episodes. We're going to be talking
Yeehaw!
about 2 Betrayals, Keys, and the Mall for our final stretch.
The Mall. What
Guys, are you fucking ready?
a name. Sure.
Yep.
To go through these levels again!
Yeah, backwards, baby.
Whoa.
Sounds so
I actually
exciting.
really didn't. Truthfully, that.
Oh, he
new
doesn't
episode-
mind it now.
No, I didn't mind that compared to the fucking library. I don't know why that was such a drudge for me, but I was playing that at night, and I'm just like, is it over yet? Truly.
Mommy.
Yeah.
All right, synopsis for 2 Betrayals. It is set in the same location as Assault in the Control Room, but this time Master Chief travels through the level in the opposite direction.
It goes backwards.
The objective is to destroy 3 phase pulse generators while fighting 3 other factions of enemies striving towards everyone else's destruction. First, we start out with our cutscene. Spark uses Chief to put the index into the control room panel. Cortana reveals Halo's true purpose in Halo being a weapon not to eliminate the Flood, but eliminate their food source, all organic life. Trio, you have your hand up, please.
I do. So she just gets there because she's in the ring.
She's been there.
Or
Yeah,
she was in that. Is that
We
where
left
Chief leaves
off
her?
from the control
So
room.
we
Remember
did
when
leave her
Cortana's
there.
like, there's no time,
and
go.
that is the exact. Okay, just
Yes.
wanted clarification.
Yes. Spark thought you knew the contamination protocol. Turns on you and wants you to give him Cortana. Obviously, you don't, and you fight.
I like her dialogue here. Like she's like, "You, this isn't a cudgel, you barbarian."
Yeah.
I have some trivia about that later, but we'll get to it because this level's not too long. But keep her the terminal. There's a terminal right behind us when we start.
Where? What? No.
What's a terminal?
If you turn around, don't.
Keep her, please. Terminal. Faster.
Keep her terminal.
So yeah, this terminal is right behind you when you spawn. So
Yeah.
go ahead and walk back there, please.
Please turn around.
Turn around, venture.
So this terminal opens with a Halo array firing and 343 stating it has an effective range of 25,000 light years.
Ooh.
343 states that there are
Nice.
Yeah, good numbers.
3,792 worlds that are capable of sustaining biological sentient life within range of Halo. Of just Halo, like this one Halo.
Yes. Yeah.
343 says that in reality, if the full array was tuned and activated by installation 0, it would cover every known star system.
The Ark.
The Ark.
Wow.
That's
Is that
only
what's-
with that's only with the 7 original rings and not, or the 7 rings and not the 12 original. There were 12
Interesting.
originally.
The Ark, does that show up later, or is that in
Yes.
this game? Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, we go to the Ark.
Yeah.
So if the original 12 had survived and been activated, sterilization would have spread far more than most Forerunners ever feared it could reach. A cutscene plays and shows a frog getting basically Thanos reduced to dust. Pretty cool. 343 states that
Just having a good
I
old
had to-
frog
I
time,
like-
and it's just like,
I like you said it. I like processed it and then I pictured it and I thought it was funny.
just a frog, just like it's
He
going to
literally
just snap a frog.
turns to
Yeah.
dust, and that's the first thing that came to my mind.
So is that like, it's not like when a Halo fires, do we know what what does it
What
fire?
firing? Probably
Like, is it
some
like a
sort of
like
frequency or
It's like an
signal?
energy. You
Like
you
a-
see it in the terminal. It's kind of like
Interesting.
an energy. Like,
Energy
light.
blast that like basically that just turns all life to like sentient
It
life to
doesn't
dust.
destroy any like
It
planet.
Yeah,
it just-
yeah,
all-
it basically the
Interesting.
blip. Is that what they
Yeah.
call it?
Yeah, the blip.
Well, no, the eradication or the decimation is when everyone dies. The blip is when they come
Oh, when
back.
they come back, that's right.
Yeah.
So then another cutscene plays that shows a flood-controlled planet being sterilized by the ring, and all the Forerunner buildings returned to almost pristine condition. 343 says that this victory was the will of our people, even though it was their end as well. You know,
Interesting.
but it cleared the stage for the rest of the librarian's plans. 343 mentions the Didact and how he wonders whether or not he could have succeeded at a much smaller cost. He states that he never got the chance to fully execute his proposal. The council saw to that, make sure that Didact didn't get a chance to do that. He then states that if something were to go wrong with one of the Halos, if one of theirs were turned against them, long plans indeed. and that's how it ends.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, this is your first episode you're watching. These
Listening to.
terminals are thank you.
You're welcome.
These terminals are referencing Halo 4 a lot with the Didact, the Librarian,
Yeah.
the Forerunners.
Because that's right when this came out, too.
Right before. You said
So
that I
even
think in
there
the
was
first
one-
episode, Chris.
No, I shall
It was
say
like
for the
building
second
up the
one.
hype train
Yeah,
for.
I was when I started playing Halo 2, I was confused by the first cutscene. Because it's like the Arbiter
With
explaining to Locke.
Yeah, it's
why-
really in a
they're-
bad spot.
It just was confusing because I was like,
does
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
so
Locke's
I mean,
in,
I
like,
was
the very
just we can
beginning.
talk about that more in depth, obviously, when we get there. But it just like it threw me for a quick loop. I was like, did I click on Halo 2? Like,
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's weird placement for that.
This level is just like the same thing.
you just play. You
I
run through.
I
you-
literally have like nothing to say on.
I had, like-
anything you're actually doing in the level.
I thought you
other
kind
than
of used the
some things
Banshee a good
Cortana
amount.
says.
I feel like in this one, but besides that, yeah, I
I had a
agree.
hard time, like when I didn't know like how
I was
to
getting
do the
so
pulsar
confused
with like the pulsar
on
things.
where to go. Like I was getting.
I knew where to go. I just
You
couldn't.
know what's
I
funny?
really
I
did-
just know where to go from doing it before.
And I guess I really
remember this level.
I was like, wait, and then I started passing by Cortana's like, you gotta go back, Chief. I'm like, where the fuck do I go
Do
back?
I, though?
Yeah, like, yeah.
Isn't there a moment where like Johnson and like he's on a Pelican in this mission, and like he's talking about his different fire team. There's like when you're going across the two bridges, you know, they're Covenant and I think it's just the Covenant fighting. I'm not sure.
It's in Assault on the Control Room. He lands down there.
Well, maybe it is Assault on the Control Room.
Yeah, because that
Oh, okay.
he comes out and Fire
See,
Team
look how
Zulu,
similar they
Fire
are.
Team Zulu's
That's
coming
it.
out.
Oh,
Fire
it's so
Team
true.
Zulu.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Wrong. Same level. Wrong
level.
Same level, not the exact level.
So Cortana searches for the Autumn crash site via the Covenant battle.nets. She says the ship's fusion reactors could be large enough to destroy Halo. As a failsafe in case that fails, we are set out to find 3 pulse generators that power the Halo's main firing mechanism, which will buy us some time. In order to access the Autumn's failsafes, we need to override them using the captain or his neural implant. So we don't necessarily need him. We just need his implant.
Interesting.
After we destroy the generators, Cortana teleports us to the captain using the system that the Monitor and the Sentinels use to teleport. So being in the system, she has
And doesn't
access
she
to that.
uses like I thought it was just an interesting little. I didn't really understand it necessarily, but she's like, oh, we have to use your shield generator to cause the,
she an
to get
EMP.
the yeah.
She EMPs the pulse generators with your suit shield.
Interesting.
Oh, was that what you just had to walk into it? I always walked into it and meleeed it, and I was like, why isn't this working?
Yeah,
It always
it's your-
took a second.
It's your shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's literally all.
Shows
I have
how
on
much
the-
I listen.
on the
Alright.
level.
No, yeah,
And
I mean,
have-
there's not
and I
much to
have some
say.
trivia.
Again, it's truly like we're just retreading.
Yeah. Some of Guilty Spark's dialogue in this level points to his rampancy, an assumption that Master Chief knows what Halo is and what it does, as well as his line about a question posed to him previously points out the fact that he's confused Master Chief with a Forerunner. He also calls him Reclaimer. We can probably get into that in another game. I'm not going to mention that here, but
Sure.
yeah, this trend of him calling him Reclaimer starts here. This is the only level in the entire game which allows players to use every weapon, not counting vehicles,
Interesting. Not that god awful ghost. No.
with no boost.
Yeah.
With no boost.
Some have wondered why Cortana says things like "sawed off" and "toddy about" in this cinematic. The reason for that is apparently Jason Jones wanted Cortana to have a British accent originally. This was confirmed in the Halo 3 Legendary Edition disc. In addition, in Halo The Flood, Cortana says "piss off" rather than "sawed off."
Interesting.
Yeah, so they wrote the dialogue and they just never
They
changed
just
it.
were like, you're gonna be an American saying sod off. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why
so
she
funny.
like has those weird.
It almost maybe kind
Yeah,
of.
I heard it. I'm like, "sod off." Like,
no, that's
what?
weird. I guess you could kind of almost put
sod
that to the
off.
point of like maybe the Earth has become so united that certain terms have just become like regular.
And
right, yeah,
it's
like,
funny that she says like 2 British terms in the same cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's like, guys, did we not want to change that? Like,
Yeah, this
she
is
wasn't reading in there. Like, guys, you know I'm American, right? I can't say sod off. Yeah,
That's good. It's good. Keep it
no.
going.
yeah, it's funny because I was playing and I'm like, huh.
it's funny. I didn't
Why
know.
would you use it? And
I
then,
didn't notice
and
it.
then the trivia level or the trivia. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And this is also the last level in which the players encounters jackals. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And-
really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we teleport. We're going back to another level. In this level, Chief returns to the Truth and Reconciliation to rep you.
Yeah, I didn't really like this one.
Yeah, you know what? I was kind of. I didn't know if it was
Captain Keyes.
Truth and Reconciliation again, or if it
Yeah,
was a
it
different
is
ship.
Truth and Reconciliation. To rescue Captain Jacob Keyes from the flood, the Master Chief fights his way through the ship and on the ground while trying to survive the bloody engagement between the flood and the surviving Covenant forces.
I did think it was cool to see
them fuck
fighting each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really do, especially remember that being back then. I'm like, oh, I can just kind of run past some of these guys if I
Yeah.
really wanted to. So yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
Ever
it was
like
interesting.
fall into the water?
Yeah,
Oh, I can't see it.
yeah. No, you can't see shit.
Can't see shit.
Yeah, it's green, right?
It's like green.
It's not water. It's fuel from the ship, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Flood ooze.
I mean, the ship has a giant hole in it.
No, it does make sense. They're still using diesel. No, I'm kidding.
You guys using diesel?
This is diesel.
At the end of the level, John discovers a horrifying truth. Captain Keyes has been completely consumed by a proto-grave mind. With no other choice, John physically removes the captain's implants from the form which contain the access codes to the UNSC Pillar of Autumn. He hijacks a Banshee and gets the fuck out of there.
So that was a flood speaking as Captain Keyes to him.
No, it was
It
him.
was
No.
him, but
it was
like, and then he was
him
slowly being
gripping
taken.
on to
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to keep whatever sanity he had left.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unfortunately, this is a tough terminal.
No, especially and when he. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like this level and this terminal.
Yeah, this
just because
terminal-
like this is the first level with like a death.
Yeah.
and like Captain Keyes is a pretty big figure
yeah.
in this game.
Absolutely,
and I feel like in Halo going on. So we get our cutscene in the beginning, and here's some dialogue. Cortana. The Covenant network is an absolute chaos. From what we've been able to piece together, their leadership ordered all ships to abandon Halo when they found the Flood, but they were too late. The Flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. The Covenant are terrified the Flood will repair the ship and use it to escape from Halo. That's how smart they are.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Well, and it's funny because I guess the idea then would be they took over those Covenant. The Covenant obviously know how to fix their own ship. Then that is
Right,
cool.
they're
That's
using-
interesting. So yeah. It's almost like it's not quite it, but like it's interesting to see like where they kind of like draw some from Alien, and I feel like even the way they act and the way like it reminds me of like I don't know if you've ever seen The Thing and like things like that. Like you can see kind of all the elements they took from with the Flood, like which I appreciate now more as an adult looking back at it that I didn't really quite understand as I would have been playing through as a kid.
youngin'.
Yeah.
Sent in a strike team to neutralize the Flood and repair the ship for immediate departure. I've gotten a good lock on Captain Keyes' CNI transponder signal. He's alive, and the implants are intact. There's some interference from the cruiser's damaged reactor. I'll bring us in as close as we can, and you come in upside
down.
and he falls, and he like.
I thought
hits
that
it.
one was actually that was a good little guy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciated it.
So as we enter, Keyes warns us to like
Like,
get
get
out
the
of
fuck
here.
out.
Don't be a fool. Leave me.
Captain? Captain?
And if you go right in, if you look right, you can see the proto grave mine through the window. So he's right there. So
Oh, really?
Interesting.
yeah.
So you have to go like all the way around just to get to this.
Yes.
Love
I
it.
mean, he should just kick break the glass. Come on.
There's a lot of that reminds me
You're a
of like
fucking Spartan.
my favorite is this very sidebar, but in Jedi Fallen Order when he's like, I have no key, and I saw a meme where it's like Qui-Gon with the lightsaber, like, what's up? Like, you sure? Like it's him just like going, yeah. But I'm sorry. Continue.
And we travel through a little bit where we have to jump out of the ship and we explore the chaos outside of the ship, which Tria was talking about earlier. And then we find a grav lift to go back up. Anything outside that you guys want to talk about? Before
I thought that was
go back
somewhat
up?
interesting, but again, I kind of just like ran through that part.
Most of the point, yeah.
yeah,
most of
like
it
I was just like
running
go
through or-
go. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have nothing to say up until we get to the keys.
No, I don't either. I think
Yeah, I
it's,
mean,
again
it's-
we're just
it's
running through the same,
Same
shit.
level. Same
Yeah,
level.
it's pretty
Truth
much
and
straightforward.
reconciliation.
Getting the keys.
Not yeah.
Keeper of the terminal. This is the one you don't have prepared, right? With keys?
I do have this one. I have
Okay.
keys.
I
don't
mean,
have them
it's
all.
pretty easy to talk to.
Yeah. So the ninth terminal, you find it. It's right underneath keys. It's a red terminal. It's different. It looks different.
Interesting.
But this terminal opens up with a close up of Key's eyes. He says he forgot something, then states his full name and UNSC service number, and like he kind of repeats that throughout the entire thing.
Did you find this one?
No, I haven't. I really haven't. I'm gonna rewatch all of
Yeah,
these.
definitely
probably,
watch
actually,
this one.
because I
This
keep
one is
meaning-
good.
I
Yeah,
keep
this one's
meaning
very
to.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, the noise, what's that damned noise? Where am I? He believes he was captured by the Covenant but can't remember. Cutscenes play, basically playing Key's life over and over, flashing before his eyes. He believes the Covenant went to find Earth, but he realizes that they want more than that. Whatever it is wants his memories. A voice comes through and says everything in like a deep, like...
So the
So
grave-
is this
the
is
grave
supposed to
mind.
be
Grave
in?
mind.
This is
Talking
what's
to him
happening
and
in his head,
taking
basically,
him
as
over.
he's getting taken
Yeah,
over.
and the grave mind is learning everything he knows
Everything
about
he
Earth,
knows.
the UNSC. Yeah,
Interesting.
So they're that's when he's saying he's like they want Earth, but he's like no, they want more.
They want they want everything.
So it's really like kind of sad to watch Keyes like
He loses his memory of
Yeah.
Miranda and his wife.
That
yeah,
sucks,
Miranda's actually in this.
it just unravels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his
Interesting.
wife is Halsey.
his wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well,
He's
lover.
begging whatever that is taking his memories to not let him forget, and then eventually Halsey and Miranda fade to black, and then he just starts repeating his name over and over again. Proto Gravemind then says, no more what you were, memories, emotions, all is now ours. Keys says for the last time, you will not have me, to which Gravemind responds, we already do.
Oh
Yeah, and then it's just done.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so
Sad, man.
we walk up to Captain Keys, and here we meet the Proto Gravemind for the first time. Also known as the Proto Compound Intelligence, is an advanced flood form created from biomass of the most intelligent living organisms available, with the ultimate goal of creating a fully functional Gravemind. That's very interesting. They just don't take normal people. They
They're
take
like,
like
oh,
smart
you're
ones with
intelligent.
knowledge.
Get in there. Yeah.
That's
Get
exactly
in
what
there.
Yeah.
they're trying
And
to
you
do.
notice like the Proto Gravemind, there's like two other
You
sets
see
of
face
legs.
and
Yeah.
you see like faces
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
it's like a
No,
bunch
Yeah,
of
it's
people.
gross,
It's
man. Yeah. So
I would have
really did a
loved
good
to
job.
see these cutscenes
like
in that Halo 2. Like,
Oh,
that would really
They-
be. It would have been tough, but it
I
would
mean,
have been
dude,
like,
once you get to Gravemind,
Gravemind, yes.
Gravemind into the two cutscenes looks
Yeah.
fucking gnarly.
Jesus.
Cortana actually mentions we talked about when the infections form kind of get bodies and bring them together. It's kind of gross. Like they literally like get the dead bodies, and if they don't take them over there, they bring them together, and then they like
They just kind of
form into,
mash
like, a
together.
mass.
Yeah.
This.
Well, again, that's like very like it or thing-ish. Like these just body parts that, yeah.
yeah.
The Proto Gravemind is a coagulation of multiple other flood forms all merged. It
I feel like
appears
nothing ever starts that's good with coagulation. Like I'm just saying, like,
coagulated blood.
yeah, just like
It appears that when an advanced task is at hand for the Flood, such as piloting a starship, they will create a Proto Gravemind to do that task by merging as many hosts as possible with that knowledge, such as former pilots and officers. Rather than completely destroying the victim's consciousness as a normal Flood form generally does, it interrogates its victims slowly, allowing their consciousness to feed it information. It's fucking...
Yeah,
how do you
that's
repair this
pretty-
part? How do you? Yeah, like it's just this. Ugh.
And they want to find a cure for this.
Yeah.
The form of torture, the form tortures the host's mind and with a loud buzzing sound, thus erasing all thought. Only after the host is stripped of all knowledge is the host killed by the Proto Gravemind. Although it's sometimes possible for a host to die before the Flood form has a chance to assimilate all of its memories.
Pretty
it's-
fucked up.
Really, Flood are a lot more fucked than I really realized when
Yeah.
I was younger. You know, like I really didn't think about this,
Like I knew they were intelligent, but
and they were kind of just yeah.
No.
It's just yeah. It's interesting to like hear the kind of fully flushed out lore,
Yeah, so this is first death of the series. Captain Keys gets punched in the face.
and just gets his
Yeah.
face right. Yeah, he just has a big chunk.
So I have a piece of trivia about that. In this cutscene where Chief retrieves his neural implants, he was meant to burn out Captain Key's skull out of the Proto Gravemind with a flamethrower and retrieve the implants. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, the flamethrower was removed from the final game.
And he just punches it out. Yeah.
Bungie had Robert McLeese, I think we've talked about him before, do research on what burned skulls looked like. When he had finished, he said he'd done his work too well, as the burned skull was too gruesome.
really.
That, honestly, I think the punch is a better bet.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes more sense to be honest. Like it's this mushy, weird mass now. I just
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
the burnt, I'm gonna take a
what if you
flamethrower
burn?
to
What if
your
you just
fucking
what if you
head.
burn the whole skull? Like what if you burn the implant?
Oh, yeah, the implant exactly.
Yeah. I like the way, the direction they went, but yeah, it's still like, and then Cortana's like, you know what he'd want us to do? And Keys like hesitates a little bit, but then just fucking puts his
yeah.
fist right through
Yeah.
his face.
Jesus.
All that pent up.
And then shakes it off.
Yeah, he's like-
Jackson in the back of his head. This is the first time we see a special ops Covenant squad. So all these Covenant that enter the room after are all black.
Yeah.
In both versions.
Yep.
And we get elites to throw grenades.
Do they never like what do
No.
you mean like
Oh,
never?
yeah,
What do you-
they-
I'm confused. Like
it's
like
usually just
like
Jack-
plasma
Jack
grenades.
runs
Really?
and
Oh, I didn't even
Grunts
know.
throw grenades.
I did not notice that.
Elites don't. Yeah. Real weird.
Yeah, that
fact.
doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
But that seems like one of those things where they were like, "Oh, dude, what? I don't think we made any elites fucking throw a grenade."
Did you make that animation?
Ah, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then we get, same way we left Truth and Reconciliation, we're doing the same thing. We
Yeah,
get the
we're outta
Banshee,
there.
We get out of here. Another piece of trivia. The crashed Banshee next to the grav lift is the only Banshee wreckage to appear in the entire Halo trilogy until ODST. In addition, the crashed Banshee has its own model in its game files, which was made specifically for this level.
Oh, wow.
That's always an interesting fact when, like, there's only one instance of something that like
Happens in
took
the game,
time to develop, and it's
Yeah,
just, like,
they're not
they only
reusing
used
it at all.
once.
Yeah.
Like
It's
the Bumblebee.
Like to develop
Yeah.
that asset. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. The scenario of Keys is almost identical to that of the level Sorry Don't Make It So from Marathon to Durandal. Both levels require the protagonist to fight its way through a captured and heavily damaged alien ship during a heated battle between two opposing forces, being the Flood against the Covenant in Keys and the Profor against the UESC in the level from Marathon.
UESC.
Yeah, so clearly that is a UNSC, UESC.
Yeah. A little bit of a nod.
And that's it. That's it for Keys. Do you guys have anything to say before we move on to our final level of Halo?
I think so.
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, Captain Keys. We'll probably talk about him, well, once we get into Halo 2 in the beginning, we'll probably talk about him a little bit again. But yeah, that's it for Keys. We never really, he's not really talked about anymore.
Yeah, I
after
mean,
this.
unless you read the book, The Flood. I know he's really prominent in the book.
Interesting. All
If
right.
you want a different side of him.
Yeah, no, I would love. It's funny books. Yeah, I would love to read more. Like to know. I probably wouldn't read the book, but I probably would look up the wiki on it.
Audiobook.
Yeah,
Audiobook.
Yeah,
I
Audible.
can't. I'm not good with audiobooks.
I haven't really tried. I mean, I listen to podcasts.
So I like
what's the difference?
podcasts, but I feel like when it comes to audiobooks, for some reason, for me, I feel like I'm not. I have to pay attention
to pay
more.
attention.
Right, you
And you
like,
can't. You
zone
can't really
out.
tune out like what like because you're like I just missed a whole paragraph. I don't know what's now happening
Yeah.
because I wasn't paying. They're really good for the car, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think that's like the best place to have them.
All right, the Maw.
The Maw.
The mall.
The Maw is the 10th and final campaign level of Halo Combat Evolved. In this level, Master Chief must make his way through the wreck of the UNSC Pillar of Autumn in order to detonate the ship's fusion reactors and destroy Halo. The Flood and the Covenant Armada, thus preventing the destruction of the humans and potentially all sentient life in the galaxy. Just like the previous two levels, the player has no allies.
Dun.
Huh?
And we are also replaying another level we already
Again.
played.
Yeah. All right.
We open up, the song Maul plays, and yeah, we see the Pillar of Autumn. Like, it looks almost like it got what's that when a ship hits land?
Cap? No, not Cap. Sorry.
What do you mean? Like
Landfall? No.
Maybe.
caps? I don't know.
When,
Yeah,
when a
like
ship hits ground, runs ground.
Yeah,
ground.
yeah, runs- yeah, I think that's
yeah,
right.
kind of like it's like sitting on like a mountain.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like kind of tilted up almost.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get in there. Our
Crash our-
Banshee just
yeah.
crashes
Crash
and we
our
get out.
Banshee.
And we go to the bridge and initiate the self-destruct.
You know what? I don't get. How does he like? I guess maybe he like jumps out of it at the end and grabs on with the Banshee because the way it opens up.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see it from the other side.
Maybe.
Like he brings
Nah,
it down.
that
no?
doesn't make any sense because it goes down. Your legs would come out this way.
Maybe he like just kind of stands up and it.
Yeah, I don't know.
like-
It's so confusing.
Hey.
I
Yeah.
made it.
So, 343 Guilty Spark is back and he's trying to fight us tooth and
And
nail.
he's pissed.
And he's guiltier than ever.
I love
guilty
that.
of being pissed.
And he's guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
And this is where we find our terminal for this level. This is the one you don't have, right?
I am not the keeper of the terminal for this one.
I'm the keeper of the terminal.
You have been stricken from the record.
So this is 10, right? Not the 11th one?
Yeah, the 11th one was a secret one through Halo Waypoint that you had to like remember
them
those
all.
codes that like popped up
Yes.
at the end. Yeah, you got to put all those codes in.
Yeah. So, can you talk about that or no? Do you know anything about that one off the top of your head?
A little bit of the last one.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's no one. If you're playing it on Xbox One, you're not gonna.
Yeah,
you're not
I don't know
gonna-
how you
Waypoint
would
isn't
access
available.
it. Yeah, Waypoint's not available anymore.
Sorry.
I remember Waypoint. Fuck. Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, isn't that how you watched
Yeah.
Forward Unto Dawn? I think we talked about that.
Yeah. And Nightfall.
Oh, and Nightfall. That's right.
So yeah, this terminal, I'm not gonna do the big description that Chris usually does, but pretty much 343 is like, I guess they destroyed the ring. You know, it happened. And he's kind of saying like maybe this wouldn't have happened if the Didact was around, and man, if the Didact was around, like they would be fearing the Prometheans and stuff. And he really alludes to Halo 4 in this one, where like,
really talking about the Didact.
right. The Spark is kind of like, it got destroyed, whatever. Well, it'll be fine. The Covenant seem to be interested in maybe I'll use them. Because which he does.
That kind of plays into the next one. I know.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah,
Him
a little
finding
bit.
the heretic
he finds
leader.
the heretic leader. Yeah.
Yeah. So 343 like essentially admits defeat, but he's kind of been like, well, can't wait until the Didact shows back up in 3-4 games from now.
He's like so excited. He's like, I can't wait for the
Motherfucker.
Didact.
again, I don't have too much while we're going through this level, but one interesting thing, we get down to the armory, we need munitions to take these reactors out with some well-placed explosives. This is the first time we see stealth flood in the armory.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Did you
Those
expect
fucks.
that?
No, I totally forgot that.
I knew
Those
they were
bastards,
In there.
yeah.
We were just like, oh shit.
They caught me by surprise, those little sneaky bastards.
So we destroy the couplings and we're getting the hell out of Dodge. Cortana radios Echo 419 for evac, and we do the famous Warthog run.
Which I want to kill I kept
To be
fucking
fair,
up so bad.
This
I
one
really
is
don't
not
know.
good compared to
It's-
3.
Well, it's just all these
it's
like
a
weird
weird- yeah,
jumps,
it's a
and
weird
there's not
drive.
really like
Like
a
you
good
can't really go
smooth-
straight down.
No,
you gotta like
can't.
go
You gotta-
around.
and just like I don't know, I felt very like just slippy slidey at points, and I'm just like, it was.
Do you
weird.
have any sense of like, do you like this part or no?
I didn't. Oh, yeah, I liked it. It wasn't
the music,
like
the music.
the
makes
music's
it.
exactly.
It's epic.
Yeah.
No, it's epic,
Even
yeah.
when we do it in 3 again, and that's all. I think it's. Oh no, there's kind of 1 in ODST.
No, I remember 3 very well.
Yeah,
that's
oh,
the
yeah.
one I do remember like the most well. Was that run?
Yeah. Eventually, we get to where Echo 419 is going to evac us, and unfortunately,
They're
she's
down.
killed.
Yeah.
Our
That
Sucks.
second
She was a cool
Damn.
character.
She was, yeah.
What'd you say?
She was. She was a cool character. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of cool dialogue between her and Cortana.
We deliver.
we deliver.
All right, so Cortana states there's one longsword in the hangar that is our ticket out. So we go a little bit further and we get to our longsword and depart. But before we leave, let's talk about the GATL-1 Longsword Class Interceptor. This is the main single ship of the United Nations Space Command Defense Force and is a mainstay fighter filling a variety of roles simultaneously. Inside of the longsword presents a small corridor leading to the rear stairs and a higher corridor to the cockpit. In the 2 corridors, there are several equipment lockers alongside 2 secondary crew stations. The cockpit consists of 2 pilot chairs and 2 auxiliary crew stations, with a known total crew complement of 4. Along with the equipment and the weapons lockers, the ship presents itself as a less fighter bomber and more of a dedicated bomber and close support craft.
Whoa.
This is
I
like,
really like the design of that, especially in the. I didn't actually look at it in the old graphics.
old graphics.
But
this
I
is
really
like
like the way it looked.
first and only time you like get or see a longsword for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You see them up in the skies in some levels, but like they're never really like referenced again except for Reach in a level.
I was gonna say,
And
do you pilot? Are those the things you pilot and reach?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
Fucking
do
hate that.
pilot. Oh, I was like, am I remembering a
that's what
Halo
I said
game
when
where you
I-
pilot?
Yeah,
and
that's the
think-
first
yeah,
thing
I
I
thought
thought of when I
so.
saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you pilot a longsword, but like I remember that being like my trivia fun fact for Halo that ship is called a longsword. Like she says it once and that's it, and you really never
Interesting.
hear it again. So if you beat this game on Legendary, while you're flying out and the Pillar of Autumn's blowing up, you get an Easter egg where Johnson
Not
is-
canon, by the way. Not canon.
Yeah, Johnson is like fighting a elite, like they're struggling for an assault rifle, and he says if you, oh wait, I have the dialogue. He goes, "Come here, mother," and he's like, "I'm gonna," and suddenly they stop, turn to see the ship explode, and Johnson goes, "Oh shit!" And Johnson turns to the elite and goes, "This is it, baby." And they, and they hug. And, okay, so in the original, the elite touches Johnson's ass. In the remaster, Johnson touches his ass.
Classic.
And then the hugging elite's like, yeah. So that's an Easter egg. for
And was that from
Legendary.
the original game?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so he was meant to die, or which is
Yeah,
not confused.
it's not-
Like,
yeah,
it's
it's
not
not
really
canon.
clear. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not a canon
So-
ending.
I'm gonna talk about survivors in a sec, but it is interesting. Like, what the fuck happened to Johnson?
Yeah.
Like, how did he get off?
Yeah, you really,
And why
and
is
even
he-
at the
why is he
beginning of
there?
2, they're like, "I'll tell you later." Like he doesn't really even like give you like
Oh
a vote.
yeah, does he say it?
He's like, well, like the guy's like, Johnson, one of these days you're gonna have to tell me how you got off that fucking Halo ring or whatever. And he's like, yeah, whatever, or something like
Yeah,
that.
fuck you.
Not worth my time.
So that is it. Alpha Halo is destroyed.
And he, oh, I'm sorry.
no, that's it. That's all I had to
And then he
say.
pulls away, right? And then that's the last shot. He takes off his helmet. I did not notice. I don't remember that part.
What?
Really?
You didn't notice that?
I noticed it.
No.
It's
We're,
when
we're
he's-
surprised you forgot.
Oh yeah, no, I totally,
That's like a
no,
big thing,
I
huh?
totally forgot. Like when he just, and then he puts to a side, but then it cuts to like obviously you can't see him.
Yeah. So
I did.
Chris,
Yeah,
So
I know.
the
Grad.
PC, you can like kind of You can like mod it and
Yeah,
mess
and
with the
see
camera. And
around
he
a
just like takes off his
He
helmet.
doesn't have a
and
head.
Yeah, I
it's
was
just
gonna say
another
it's just
helmet.
Oh wait, is it?
It's just another helmet. Yeah.
that makes sense. They were like, we're not making this asset. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
we're not
so
spending time on his face that no one's seeing.
So,
funny.
some dialogue from that final cutscene. Cortana, or Master Chief asks, "Did anyone? You beat Cortana. I'm gonna be Chief.
Oh gosh, hold on.
Do you have to scroll down?
Yeah, I gotta scroll down. Is it at the end? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Oh. Final cutscene.
Yeah.
All right, go. You're chief.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. Sorry. Scene. We did what we could do, what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant Armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
Love it.
So that is Halo. That is it.
We did it.
We got through.
So let's talk about
Thank God. No, I'm kidding.
survivors.
Yeah.
It is assumed that only 8 members of the Pillar of Autumn were in space and therefore survived the blast. 4 of which were on a Pelican, 2 Spartans, Linda, who was in a cryopod, and the other one, John 117, was on the Longsword Fighter. Every other person at the battle presumably died when Installation 4 was destroyed. However, since Gunnery Sergeant Marcus Stacker and Private Chips Dubbo, among others, have been seen again in later games, it can be assumed that they were the other survivors. However, the Autumn was operating as a skeleton crew. As the remaining non-essential crew members remained in cryo when the Covenant infiltrated the ship, most of the crew were still asleep and their tubes were shot into space to save them from being killed in the crash. John managed to retrieve 3 tubes. One contained Linda. The other people in the other 2 had died in sleep due to malfunctions. It is not known whether this was a malfunction in one of the cryo storage rooms or if it happened
Outside
to
the ship,
almost
yeah.
every tube.
So he picks up Linda in the longsword, right?
Yeah,
I
at
assume.
some point.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did notice that the second time through the ship on the mall, I saw her vital signs or whatever.
Oh,
And the thing,
yeah,
that I missed the first time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't catch I think either times.
Yeah.
Or no, I caught it the first time. I didn't know it was there the second. You go through a different cryo like there are some. The level was talking about a lot of inconsistencies between the first level and the last level on the Pillar of Autumn. Like apparently the doors are smaller when you enter, like where the Bumblebee escape pods are,
Yeah.
and like like the cryo area is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like there are things that are like don't exactly line up
Sure.
with the first level, which I
yeah.
thought was kind of interesting. But you know, it's an old
Yeah,
game.
there's like walkways in when you go for the first time.
Yeah,
when you come back.
you go to like the other side, but I'm like, I always thought it was like, oh, this is the other part you didn't access.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
it's kind of like a totally different room.
Well,
So guys, what are our final thoughts on Halo Combat Evolved? Let's get into it.
it was fun to replay. I don't know if I'm ever going to replay it again right now.
Maybe achievement hunting.
Maybe, something like that. I mean, that's
Trio-
not really my
Trio isn't
style,
a
but like,
fucking dedicated man.
I'm
like
not.
I
Not
am.
a gamer.
sadly not.
like
I'm not a
that,
true, here's my
Understandable.
card. No. But
I'll call you.
yeah, it's my gamer card. Jeez, I don't give out my personal information. God, no. But yeah, no, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really cool, honestly, more than anything, to explore the lore of this first game
yeah.
that I really didn't know much about. And I thought that was a good time. I thought there were a few levels where I wanted to blow my brains out a little bit. But and also, assault on the control room. Like, I would say it's a great nostalgia replay. Absolutely, just brings up memory.
I have to agree. Yeah,
Chris.
it's definitely a great nostalgia replay. But I wouldn't see myself replaying it again. It's definitely. It holds up. It holds up really well, surprisingly, for a game that came out in 2001.
It's not gonna like you're not gonna
get wowed or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, there's things in this game that aren't in games today. Like,
Yeah, no,
just, like,
absolutely.
little things like idle animations, like ice physics. Even it's just like
it made its mark.
yeah, it definitely made its mark, and that's why people love it. And, that's why John 117's still here. And
And why we're still getting more Halo games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way with you guys. This replay, whatever number it is, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't change my opinion. If anything, while doing like the research for the outlines and stuff, I kind of learned a little bit more. But it didn't really do anything for me. Like I played Halo 1 a lot, and I think most people would kind of say the same thing. Halo 1 is just like pretty known. Yeah. It's a good game. It's aged pretty well, but it's bland.
It's still playable, absolutely.
at our
But yeah, I
halfway
think bland
point.
really is bland and samey at some points.
Yeah. It is. It's fun for a nostalgia trip, but I don't think any.
I would be surprised, like if like my cousin, my like 15-year-old cousin who never played a Halo game, like who never played Halo, like how
What
he
would
would
he think?
if he played, like someone who has no real connection. I think that would be interesting to know, like someone's
Never played a Halo game?
that just really doesn't have that nostalgia connection.
Yeah. I agree.
But again, lore and just sound design, and there's a lot of things in this game, music wise, just
Oh, yeah.
it's iconic, and that really speaks for itself.
Very iconic.
Yeah. So, I know Trio, you've played a little bit of Halo 2. Any expectations going into Halo 2? Like what you think you're gonna feel or think or.
I mean,
know.
I'm
It's
not
kinda
gonna
hard
lie.
to say.
Halo 1 like kind of really knocked me down, like in the way of like my expectations of like, oh man, I feel like I really remembered enjoying this game more, and I won't get much into it. But with Halo 2, I'm like, oh, I was saying this before the pod. I was like, this is where my real like consciousness of Halo comes in. This is what I remember. But yeah, I'm so excited.
I don't really remember much of Halo 2, so this should be...
Yeah, the last time I played it was when I played Halo 2 again and for achievements and stuff, but this is like the second time I'm going through the anniversary edition for story. So it'll be cool to see these cutscenes again. Halo 2 was always a Halo. I'll probably reiterate this point in the next episode, but it was always a Halo that like I never really feel like I truly grasped the story-wise.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Long, too. It's a very long
we're
game.
gonna get not only with Chief again, but the Arbiter. We're gonna talk about him. There's a lot more of a Covenant storyline in this one, and that's where I'm gonna like. If you notice, I didn't specifically talk about the Covenant in Halo 1 because the Covenant are just what we see. They are nothing
they're an
else.
alien. They're a bad guy.
We
Right.
get more into
Yeah.
like the politics and stuff about the Covenant.
Right.
It
and,
really does like double down in this next one, especially just with the
Right,
the
right
cuts
at
with
the start.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And absolutely. I mean, I don't know. It's been just the first level to replay. Now that we finished recording this, I feel like I can now go back and start playing the next one too. I've been taking notes this time around too. Again, it just seems to already be enthralling me more.
Yeah, and there's also
Yeah.
more to talk about. Like I'm excited to actually talk about the story,
Yeah.
which we don't do in this one.
Because there's just not much.
Yeah, there's really not-
We can cover it in 2 sentences. The story, really.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
like
my synopsis. Like
exactly.
I might like depending if the synopsis is too long, maybe I won't do that because I kind of put them in for the point of like, oh yeah, like it. I
Sure.
don't even know how to talk to some of the stories sometimes
Absolutely.
because it is like you just said 2 sentences of an explanation.
It's like, oh, we go to this facility and fight through it.
But how did I'm gonna keep this in the podcast, but it's sort of like behind the scenes. How do you like the way I sort of like presented the lore and stuff? And
I think it's good. I like it a lot.
I liked
because
it a
I
lot,
that
yeah.
we can kind of
Okay.
talk about it more. I think it was very good.
Yeah. Well, the first time we recorded, I'm like, am I talking too much? But
No,
then
I
again,
think
I
that's
think
'cause
it's
that's what
good.
this
I
is
think it's
supposed to be.
good that I
You're
take
doing
a hosting.
we comment on it.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I think that works
Right,
perfectly.
because if we were sharing it, I feel like
You
we
are
get-
keeping the through line while we are just kind of commenting, and then the keeper of the
terminals.
the terminals pops
Yeah.
in, and then I give my 10 out of 10 commentary, my best commentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
here's a question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Trio's 10 out of 10 commentary. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Do we want to rate these games? Obviously, right now we can't, but maybe.
No,
by
I
the
think that would
time-
be fun.
By
Yeah,
the
no.
time
Oh,
we
yeah.
hit Halo 2, we rate them.
No, I think so too. Yeah, and I think I can already pretty much tell. I think that 2 is gonna beat it for me. At least. But no, yeah, I think we should. So
Yeah.
right now we only got Halo, but we'll get into more.
It's the best game we played so
Yeah.
far.
And
Absolutely.
that, boys and girls, was Halo Combat Evolved. We hope to see you in Halo 2 and further games.
We can't wait. It's going to be a good time. We appreciate you guys listening along with us on this journey through Halo Combat Evolved. That concludes Combat Evolved itself. So we cannot wait to talk Halo 2. We're going to start recording those soon. If you want to listen to this anywhere, it's found on all your favorite podcast services. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We are also on all your favorite social medias. Just go to @Delco Nerds there. You can find our. I don't know when I'm having like major. I'm gonna
What,
restart the outro really quick. Do you care cutting it?
No, yeah,
Because like I just totally fucked up. I just stepped on my words. All right. Thank you all so much for listening along with us today. We've had a great time discussing Halo Combat Evolved. We cannot wait to come back for Halo 2. Chris joining us once again, so it's going to be a great time. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you can find this podcast everywhere podcasts are found. We are on all your favorite social media platforms @Delco Nerds. You can email us, delconerds@gmail.com with any fun topic ideas or just to let us know something. We always love hearing from you.
And before we sign out, before a trio signs out, share this with your friends. I think the
Absolutely.
best
Oh,
way
yeah.
that podcasts are spread is through word of mouth. And, you know, this
Play
is,
along with us too. Yeah.
Right. This is kind of like a different series where we are kind of like,
We're trying
play
it
along
out.
with us. We're going for the long haul with this. It's kind of very different from our podcast before. So if you're new to this, like check out our other podcasts. We do reviews of games and we talk about topics, but this is the first kind of thing like this we've ever done.
Absolutely.
So any feedback you have on this process would be great. I'm sure we're going to evolve as well as we go through the games and find out what works and find out what sticks, and maybe we do a little less of that, more
Yeah.
of this, whatever.
And it's always fun to have you on this journey with us. We can't wait to do more. Did I say the Discord already?
No.
You can find our Discord, Delco Network Discord. We have a lot of fun conversations on there, a lot of fun people, a lot of nice people. It's always a good
A lot
time.
of fun, a lot of nice people, good people.
Good people, good people. It's magnificent, all right? I think that about covers us. All this info can be found on our website, delconetwork.com. For Gooch, for Chris, I've been Trio. Thanks for listening, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.